Hello, good morning. If you are anyone like me, you are the type of person that is likely to walk away from a fight. Growing up in a family that fights all the time, I have two older brothers and a younger sister. Siblings fight. Parents, the fatherly figures, motherly figures, they fight. And I was terrified of loud noises, but I never recognized that. So I'm always the one that walks away, find a place to hide, or just pretend things aren't happening. So if you are one of those people, this story is for you. Growing up, someone once told me the amount of success you will enjoy is determined by the amount of difficult conversations you're willing to have, whether that is with yourself, with other people, with your colleagues, with your loved ones. You need to have those difficult conversations. But I did not know that. I'm always walking away. But I'm always holding a grudge too. I don't know if you do that, but I certainly did. Just because I walked away doesn't mean I was okay with it. I was not okay with the physical abuses. I was not okay with being called a loser, or that I'm a failure. And those plants in your subconsciousness. So I didn't know how to address this until very much later in life. In fact, it was my fiance, and I was around 36 years old at the time, that taught me that it's okay to fight. I think the literal words she shared with me is, fighting is also a form of communication. It is better than no communication. And that was an aha moment for me. It's like, I never thought of it that way. She said, if you don't express yourself, how would I ever know what's going on in your mind, right? And also, she brought up the fact that when we fight, I often fight about the old stuff, because those things were in my mind, and I never brought it up. So I never fight. When we fight, we don't fight. Well, she fights about the whatever issues at hand, while I bring up things from years before. And she said that wasn't fair because, we didn't address that right away. So that's something, I want to share, just in case people like you may be going through the same thing. Now, having said that, fighting is okay. Fighting is a form of communication. It is better than no communication. That's good. But that doesn't mean you get to walk around and say whatever it is you want. Because the words that come out of your mouth, especially the words without thinking it through, can often hurt other people, especially when you're emotional. But nobody ever said that you can't take a time out. For example, instead of expressing your anger and calling everyone stupid, or saying much more nastier words than that, it is okay for you to say something to the effect of, I am angry. I don't feel well. What you have said hurt me. And I'm not comfortable with this conversation. I'm going to take a time out. It's perfectly all right to say something like that. In fact, it shows maturity, right? Also, you could say something to the effect of, I am upset now, but can we talk this over again tomorrow, an hour later? How much ever time you think you need, just to allow yourself to cool off and allow yourself to think it through, and perhaps let the other person have some space. before you continue with the conversation. Now, this example that I'm using is in relationships. But don't forget that this rings true even with work. Sometimes you're having a heated debate with your colleagues, perhaps over a project. Perhaps it's a meeting with your boss. Perhaps it's a conversation about promotion. Any sensitive and emotional situation, it's all right to pause, take a break, allow the other person to know what you're feeling, but don't get overly emotional. So that's just the story I want to share with you all today. That success is determined by the amount of difficult conversation you're willing to have. And even if you're not ready to have those difficult conversations, it's okay to tell the other person you're not ready for those conversations and allow yourself some time to think it over. I hope you find this story helpful, and I enjoy sharing it. Thank you.